For a large portion of my young life, I had come to age in the southern cities of the Sharakhan Empire, trained among the advanced academies of the Empire's heartlands, leaving my childhood among those peaceful lands. My father's name was Okaris, and he was a general of the Sharakhan army who enjoyed the favor of Emperor Rakha. His fame ensured my mother and I had few wishes which went unfulfilled, and we lived a life of luxury and ease.
And of course, this sounds appropriate that Lilly, being the daughter of a general and living a life of luxury and ease.
I saw very little of my father himself, however. Always campaigning with his men in the north, my father was not one for the simple pleasures of home, and years would pass between his visits to see my mother and me. I must confess I had little desire to know my father much further than the visiting stranger he had become, and it always seemed to me that he felt much the same way.
And that also sounds very appropriate that Lilly and her father would be practically strangers.
But destiny often takes strange turns we do not expect, and in the year 1370 my mother took ill to the Red Plague spreading throughout the south. Within 3 months she was dead, leaving me alone upon our rich plantation. My father had recently taken over the position of ruling magistrate over the city of Ghaarak, an imperial colony along the outermost fringes of the wild frontier known as the Northern Reaches.
So Lilly's mother dies, and then she becomes the daughter of a magistrate, but now displaced in this northern reaches into an imperial colony, likely very provincial compared to where she came from.
His duties keeping him busy as they did, my father barely arrived in time to share a few last words with my mother before she departed this world forever. After my mother's funeral, my father and I were left with the awkward decision of what fate would befall me. In many ways, I would have preferred to stay upon our plantation home in the south and make my own destiny. But my father had other ideas. At his bidding, I was brought to live among the Imperial citizens of Ghaarak to finish my training at the Imperial Academy under my father's care. Life upon this wild land proved very different from that of the civilized cities of the south, and I felt quite alone among my new home in Ghaarak. Though we now lived within the walls of the same city, I saw my father little more than I had before, for he was always on official business with his duties as the city's magistrate. Still, my time was not completely wasted, and I worked night and day to finish my training at the Imperial Academy, in the hope that I might yet be free to make my way in the world as my own woman. Unbeknownst to me at the time, life was soon to take a turn that would change my fate forever. Looking back on it now, I can see that it all began on that fateful day, when I was summoned to the Imperial Academy to perform my graduation ceremony.
Gilles, the elderly servant of Lilly's father's household, rushes forward and bows before her. She notices that her father is suspiciously missing from his side. "Milady, I see you've arrived for the graduation ceremony here at the Academy. I know your father must be proud to have a daughter such as you today." Yeah, I'm sure she's a little insulted that her father isn't here. I'm sure she wants to mask that insult with mask that pain with an insult. "That's a terrible thing to say, Lilly. Where are your manners, lass? Your father merely wishes to see you succeed here in Ghaarak. I could just not imagine your father would fail to be here to witness such a grand event. In fact, I'd wager he's on his way here even as we speak." Yeah, Lily's not going to hold her breath. Magistrate Okaris. Of course, that's interesting that you'd refer to him by title and not as her father. "Will be here, Lilly. I'm certain he'd not miss the graduation of his only daughter from the Imperial Academy. In fact, I believe I shall go find your father right now and see what's taking him so long. Why don't you go speak with Instructor Jarvis and begin the graduation ceremony, saying he'll return momentarily with her father." Yeah, she doesn't have much hope. Now, don't be that way, Lilly. I'm sure he will come running as soon as he realizes he's late. Without a further word, Gilles bows in farewell and departs quickly from the Academy's walls. Instructor Jarvis calls for the graduates to line up so the ceremony can begin. Instructor Jarvis, a thin, sallow man with sharp facial features, greets Lilly with a smile as she approaches. Ah, you're ready to join us, Lilly. Being the magistrate's own daughter is a burden all its own, isn't it? Welcome, everyone. This is an exciting moment for our small academy, as today marks an end to your training under this roof. All that remains is for you to claim the citizenship that is now yours by right. But the morning is growing short, and it's imperative that we begin. Lady Lilly, as the daughter of our magistrate, will you do your classmates the honor of leading the ceremony? Of course Lilly will. Citizenship in the Sharakhan Empire is an important rite of passage. Upon becoming a citizen, you'll find many new obligations that will fall upon your able shoulders. The most important of these obligations is that of judgment. In times of need, the Empire will call upon you to judge the actions of your peers. As a citizen, only you can decide what is right and what is wrong. Judge well, for the day may come when you, too, are judged. For his crimes against the Empire, Yakir the Black was put to death by the sword. Our great Emperor Rakha has seen fit to hold Yakir's soul in keeping for your judgment. I can only assume that this wraith that the instructor summoned is, in fact, the soul of Yakir the Black. Lilly Black, daughter of Okaris Black, it is you who must pronounce sentence on Yakir's soul. Is he to be held in Rakha's eternal keeping, or is he to have his place in hell? Both are punishments of a sort, but the judgment must be yours. Yeah, I think Lilly would like him to elaborate a little bit on the difference between these punishments. Eternal keeping versus a place in hell. Yakir's fate is in your hands, just as the fate of the Empire lies in the hands of its citizens. The judgment is only one of many duties a citizen is obligated to, but many consider it to be the most important. To complete the judgment, you must go to the altar and place your hands upon the stone of judgment. The stone will ask you for your decision, and then abide by it. Come speak to me once you've finished the task. But he didn't really explain the difference. Instructor Jarvis smiles softly at Lilly and nods his head. I'm sure you shall do fine, Lilly. There's no wrong answers in the judgment, but as you speak on behalf of your classmates, I urge you to discuss his fate with them. Discuss things with Janthos the inventor? That tinkering gnome doesn't even deserve to be here today. Or Alia? Perhaps. Lilly wonders if that's Alia's parents in attendance, that Alia's mother is even alive. Where is her own father?
Hello there.
Hi, Lilly. Aren't you excited? It's our final day as lowly subjects of the Empire, and our first as true citizens. Or at least it will be as soon as we can get through the ceremony. Is there any way I can help with the judgment? Yeah, I don't think Lilly cares what Alia thinks for her judgment, if she were to decide, but I think she is curious what she might know about Yakir. I don't know. I was staying with my family in the forest at the time, and really don't pay much attention to what happens here in the city, with the exception of the academy, of course. I'm not sure what to tell you, Lilly. And here's Janthos, the inventor, butting in. You don't remember the Black Butcher? The heralds were calling out the news throughout half the Empire 2 years ago. Foolish druids. If a bird falls sick in the forest, you'll know of it, but if 100 city folk are killed, you never hear a thing. 2 years? His spirit has been trapped here for that long? It's not natural. He should have been sent to the afterlife. It's up to the spirit cycle to cleanse sins from the dead, no matter what their crime. Please, Lilly, the spirit of any living thing should be allowed to pass on when it dies. The spirit cycle, spirit is a natural thing as plain as breathing. We have no right to interfere in it, not even as citizens of the Empire. Yeah, Lily's not sure what this spirit cycle is. Presumably some kind of druidic concept. And here's Janthos offering his opinion when Lilly hasn't asked. Blah, blah, blah. Yakir is a heinous criminal, an abomination to your precious nature, not a part of it. If Rakha holds him to this plane, it's for good reason. She asked me about the spirit cycle, Janthos, so kindly keep your comments to yourself. Oh, he's nodding. You see, Lilly, we all pass through the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. It's a natural process and helps maintain balance in the world. People are born. In life, they make their choices, sowing the seeds of imbalance in the world. In death, the balance is restored through the blessings and punishments of heaven and hell, so they can be reborn pure anew into the world. To trap him here away from heaven or hell is to preserve that imbalance. If he's as evil as Janthos claims, then you've made the world more evil by keeping him here. Don't you see, Janthos? Hogwash. He made his bed and he should lie in it. If he really is going to be reborn like you claim, he'll just make the same choices all over again. How many people lose their families over it? Don't let it happen, Lilly. I beg you. Lily's had enough of Janthos butting in. What did you call me? You arrogant, high-born scum. Nobles like you know nothing of the people's suffering. You're nothing but the spoiled seed of your greater father. Alia stares slack-jawed at the both of them. Please, stop this bickering. Janthos, I'd have thought your rage would have been spent by now. And Lilly, your rudeness falls far below your rank. If you're going to be a dignitary like your father, you should try to be a little bit more diplomatic. I wouldn't have believed you capable of tormenting poor Janthos like that. Lilly is not going to be judged by Alia. And Alia has no idea what Lilly is capable of. And she's certainly not going to apologize, especially to a peasant. Alia's face brightens with rage. Why, you filthy weasel. Actually, even a weasel has more honor than the likes of you. Won't let a tomfool noblewoman like you ruin the day I gained my citizenship. No wonder the magistrate never came. Even your own father's too embarrassed to claim you as his own. Why, you should be... Janthos places a concerned hand on Alia's shoulder. I didn't mean for it to come to this, Lilly. This is our citizenship day. Well, we're all friends, right? Make what judgment you must and let's move on, okay? Alia apologizes to Lilly. Now, if the young Lady Black has any more questions for me, she may ask. It looks as if these might be Alia's parents, which I'm sure is making Lilly a little jealous. I can't imagine not having them. They traveled for 3 days from Lakabrir so they could be here, even with the floods. They're exhausted and haven't even unpacked the mules yet, but they wouldn't have missed the ceremony for all the world. Janthos thinks Alia's a lucky girl. Mom was pregnant with me when we graduated from this academy. I wasn't able to attend the final ceremony, so in some ways this one is for the both of us. It's good to see them again. Alia gives a little wave to her mother. Your father will arrive soon, Lilly. I know he will. I think this is starting to depress Lilly. Alia has no idea how lucky she is, how spoiled she is. No matter. At least Lilly will amount to something. Gain the praise of more than just parents. Lilly decides to interrogate the spirit of Yakir the Black. The spirit hisses at Lilly, baring its ghostly white teeth in a threatening grimace. You would dare to judge me, pawn of Rakha? Might as well have the rabbit judge the snare. I think what's interesting is that he's not accused, he's actually been convicted. Asking about his crimes. My crimes? Is that what they call them? The Empire fills your head with rubbish and calls you wise. It's the Empire that came here to tame the North and crush us under its heel. If you find a stone you cannot crush, do you name it a criminal too? Asking who he did kill. What if those the Empire killed? For every ounce of blood on my hands, there are 10 on yours. They were mindless fools who did not see the truth. They lived and died in Rakha's name. The death I offered was too good for them. Asking about the women and the children. You would swat a fly, yet leave its maggots there to fester? It's quite a callous analogy. Your precious empire has done the same to us. It's the nature of war, and I've had little need to question it. Well, of course, it sounds like what you might expect. Resistance or hatred of colonial imperialism, but she's gonna ask. We were a proud people once, and strong. One does not ask to be conquered, to be assimilated. One simply resists. One fights. You Imperials are far from home, but we'll send you there, your tail between your legs. I think she's guessing that Rakha has already rooted out his fellow conspirators. We know your strength, Imperial, but did your precious academy teach you anything of your weaknesses? You swagger like a child with a wooden sword tucked within your belt. The one who leads us will crush the Rakha beneath his heel, much as the Empire first crushed us. Start counting now, for your days are numbered, child. Of course, that's interesting because the leader of the resistance has not yet been caught. Liz is going to ask what judgment the spirit of Yakir the Black wants. Not sure that she's going to trust he's telling the truth, though. If the choice is between hell and Empire, then I choose hell. I only pity you do not offer yourself the same choice. And be gone and make your precious judgment. Let the deed be done. Actually, that sounded quite sincere. And if that's the judgment he desires, I think she'll do probably just the opposite. Purely out of spite. Lilly realizes her father is really going to miss the ceremony. Punishing his wretched spirit helps. A little. She almost wishes she could send it to hell for a bit before recalling it back to the Empire for an eternity. Resting upon the stone surface of this altar lies a glowing orb that Lilly recognizes as an orb of judgment. These magical devices are used by the Imperial courts to punish criminals according to the precepts of Rakha's law. It shines with a brilliant glow, beckoning Lilly to lay her hands upon its smooth surface. At her touch, the orb glows even brighter. She feels its soothing warmth overcome her, and her gaze is drawn to the wispy form of a nearby wraith, and a soft voice speaks within her mind. Before you stands the spirit of Yakir the Black, a foul murderer whose bloody spree claimed the lives of countless subjects of the Empire, women and children included. It lies in your hands, citizen, to determine his spirit's fate. Almighty Rakha currently holds the spirit here safe from the punishments of hell, which even the wicked do not deserve. But the Emperor will bend his hand to your will, either holding Yakir here for all eternity, or sending him to hell should you request it. Of course, that's interesting, as the orb is saying, to be given a place in hell is a punishment that not even the wicked would deserve. But I think she's still going to give judgment exactly as he doesn't want. Letting him be held for an eternity, give him time to realize his powerlessness against the Emperor. Without turning her head, Lilly eyes the spirit of Yakir, barely able to hold back a childlike smirk as she passes judgment. The spirit of Yakir the Black howls angrily as Lilly's sentence is passed, but the cry is cut short as a great beam of light consumes the foul murderer, returning him to Rakha's spiritual prison. The light of the orb dims, and the sentencing of Yakir's spirit now complete, its purpose fulfilled.
Hello.
I see that you've sentenced Yakir to his fate. You have served Rakha's will with your actions. Are you ready to continue the ceremony? She is. The judgment is complete. Yakir's spirit will remain in Rakha's care until the end of time. Let it be known that Lady Lilly has fulfilled her obligation to the Empire. As Lady Black has spoken on behalf of all the class shall taste of Rakha's gratitude. Each of you has acted in service to the Empire. The Emperor gives us 3 crests by which we can serve him all the better. They are the Crest of the Guardian, the Crest of the Enforcer, and the Crest of the Redeemer. Which do you choose, Alia? Of course, Lilly's wondering why Alia is allowed to choose first. I choose the Crest of the Redeemer, Instructor. I can use its healing power to ease the pain of the forest and its creatures. Yeah, Lily'd like to know what this Redeemer does. Has powers of healing. Regenerate health over time or heal moderate wounds. Alia explains, she's come across wounded creatures and often there was little she could do, but that would change, I guess, with the Redeemer crest. A good choice, Alia. May both your crest and your citizenship serve you well. Now, Janthos, which crest will you choose? Lily's being left for last. I think I want the Guardian crest, but, well, the power of the Enforcer crest is so tempting. I could fortify the offensive strength of my golems with it. Well, I'd like to know what these crests do. The Guardian crest will raise a magic shield. It's a defensive tool. Instructor Jarvis adding that it can also raise a separate shield to defend against those who wield magic. Alia's wondering if maybe she should have chosen the Guardian crest. Asking what the Enforcer crest does. It's an offensive tool. You can enchant a weapon with a wreath of magical flame, excuse me. Saying it might improve his golems. Alia asking the instructor to make Janthos take the Guardian crest. Lily would like Alia to shut her mouth, because Lily would like the Guardian crest. She doesn't want Janthos to take it. All of the crests offer considerable power, and that is why they are only given to those who have achieved full citizenship. Only those who truly serve the Emperor can be trusted with such tools. I don't think Lily's able to do anything but wait until Instructor Jarvis asks her choice. Again, Alia, pleading for Janthos to take the Guardian crest. Lily's likely glaring at Alia. And he does. He takes it. An excellent choice, Janthos. I too believe the Guardian crest would serve you best through your point about the city's protection is well taken. Lily's relieved. There was more than one crest of each type. Which power will you wield as a citizen of the Empire, Lily? Lily liked the Guardian crest. Very well then, let us begin the closing ceremony. I'm sure you're all eager to explore your new powers and the new role you shall play as citizens of this fine empire. Instructor Jarvis concludes the ceremony, reminding the graduates that they're now full citizens of the Sharakhan Empire, and congratulates them. Lily turns her back so to be spared Alia's sickening family reunion. Her mother would have been here to see her accomplishments today. I'm sure your father would be very proud once he receives word of your citizenship, Lily. It's quite the achievement, after all. Yeah, I just wonder why he didn't show up then. Now, Lily, running a city is such as Ghaarak is stressful and time-consuming work. You can't always expect your father to drop everything just for you. But she does. I'm sure there must have been some sort of pressing business that interfered with his attendance, Lily. It meant so much to him. Not have missed this event over a trivial matter. Yeah, she's not convinced. I see there's little I can do to change your mind. let's drop the matter. I have other news that may yet lift your spirits. One of the Empire's elite organizations seemed to have taken an interest in you. It's an honor given to very few of your young age. Of course, Lilly's interested, especially if it's an honor. But she doesn't know who it is. The ShadowGuard, a force in Rakha's direct service. Very little is known about them, and I'll not bias you with the few rumors I have heard. Suffice to say, their service to the Empire has been a shining light in dark times. You've often shown yourself to be a disciplined and orderly student, Lilly. Those qualities are greatly sought after by Rakha. I have little doubt that you will impress your prospectors. I'd like for you to make a good impression on the ShadowGuard. A man named Marcus Albright is waiting for you in the market. He told me to guide you his way. Should you succeed and gain acceptance into the ShadowGuard, your power and renown will be equaled only by your father's. Well, he's certainly caught Lilly's ear now. If there was ever a time you wish to explore the Empire outside Ghaarak, this is your opportunity. Lilly's certainly motivated then to impress Marcus and be invited into the ShadowGuard. Not only to improve her station, but as Instructor Jarvis just remarked, it might give her an opportunity to leave this forsaken northern wild outpost and maybe return to some of the more metropolitan cities in the south. Farewell for now, Lilly. Take this tome as a parting gift from me. It's the Chronicles of our world, Abaran. You do well to study it. Let it be your guide in all that comes, for the lessons of the past are lessons for our future. Rakha's blessing upon you, child. A recruiter for an elite order in direct service to the Emperor is interested in Lilly? Well, not surprising, really. I couldn't find a better candidate, especially up here among these provincial half-wits. But what is Marcus Albright looking for exactly? Lilly'd better brush up on her history of the Empire in case they question her at length regarding these things. Crest of the Guardian. Not as unique an artifact as Lilly had hoped. And to think that Janthos has one too. No matter. As Lilly affixes the crest to her Imperial uniform, she smiles proudly, knowing it looks better on no one else, especially that tinkering gnome. The Chronicles of Abaran. Lilly's convinced it was no coincidence that Instructor Jarvis gave it to her after mentioning the ShadowGuard recruiter Marcus. She'll look at it more closely later at the library. Lilly Black, in the 1372nd year, a citizen of the Sharakhan Empire. She hopes her destiny, whatever it might be, will take her far from Ghaarak, her father's city. Hopefully, Marcus can help.